first artist in the KLOVE Music Room is really exciting. The exciting thing is, too, we're going to have another opportunity for you to tune in and watch live when Matt Redman is going to be joining us on June 28th. And again, you'll have an opportunity to chime in and ask questions, make comments. In fact, I was just looking at a note from Lee, and Lee said that it's got to be hard for you to know that God has your best interest at heart, even when you want something so badly. And earlier today in the interview on the air, we talked about how you had just gotten married. You kind of had this perfect life mapped out, and had all these things planned. And when Martin was diagnosed with a brain tumor, it really threw you guys a curveball.
Yeah. Yeah, it is hard sometimes to trust God. You know, I had this great plan. Trust me, it was wonderful, and I had it all drafted out. You know, the 2.5 kids, all of it. I just needed God just to sign it, just to endorse it. But His plan has ended up being just vastly different than ours. Martin was diagnosed with a brain tumor about 5 years ago, and at first we saw, a ton of healing, and then the healing kind of plateaued. And as someone who believes wholeheartedly that God is our healer, that God is all powerful, that God is all loving, it doesn't always make sense why He wouldn't choose to heal the people we love. We've gotten enough emails from people that kind of can relate to our story, and they share stories about, a marriage that they prayed God would reconcile, that for whatever reason He didn't, or a child with cancer that they thought God would save, and for whatever reason He didn't. Or just His ways being so much different than ours, so much higher than ours, and so a lot of my music really it's about how do you worship God when you don't understand what He's doing, and how do you trust Him as truly having our best interest at heart, even when we don't always understand.
Well, and I think the song Blessings is just so important to so many of us, to all of us, really, to understand that concept that God is blessing us even when it doesn't feel like He's blessing us. And we've heard from, literally just today alone, since talking to you on the show, we've heard from hundreds of people that song has just ministered to. And one story that really stuck with me is a friend named Tony, who said that through some major mistakes he made in his marriage, that his marriage was broken up, and that his wife for years, I believe it was 9 years, had tried to tell him about Jesus and the importance of a relationship with God, and he didn't want anything to do with it. But he said after this marriage broke up, he decided to put KLOVE on because it was his wife's favorite station, and it was a connection to her. And the song Blessings came on, and he laid there and he cried and he listened to the words. And after all these years of his wife sharing about God and His love for him, Tony got it while listening to your song. And he put a note on our Facebook today just to say, thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping to lead me to Jesus. Would you sing it for us?
After that, I don't know if I can sing anything.
Is it true that you actually wrote this song, Laura, while driving in the car on the back of a receipt?
Yes. I was just driving one night. For me, when I have those moments where I don't sit still very much. I think it's all the coffee. But I was driving down the road, and it was midnight or so, and Martin, my husband, was sleeping in the seat next to me, and I just thought, wow, how different our lives look when we talk. And I grew up believing, when I think about the word blessing, I grew up, we ask for blessing, and you just pray for things like prosperity and health and all those kind of things, and then sometimes when God allows things into your life that are so different than that, it's hard to know what to do with them. But I'm learning. So there's a blessing that comes when God doesn't give us the things that we pray for. And sometimes it really is that 1,000th sleepless night, that situation where we're just totally brought to the end of ourselves. And that's when we find that the hymn writer said it best. He said, when all around my soul gives way, he then is all my hope and stay. Sometimes it takes me, God shaking everything to show me that he is the only thing that lasts. His grip is the only thing that holds. So yeah, I'll try to make it. I usually don't get all mushy. I usually don't have people tell me stories like that before I play. This is blessing. We pray for blessings. We pray for peace. Comfort for family. Protection while we sleep. We pray for healing. For prosperity. And we pray for your mighty to ease our suffering. All the while you hear